Andrew Lloyd to the stand. Mr. Lloyd, would you mind telling the court how much David Hall paid you for being his personal secretary?
$100,000 a year.
That's a huge amount for a secretary.
Yes. I had become quite indispensable to David, and I dare say that he would have paid me anything to entice me to stay on.
You may have been indispensable, but you weren't exactly loyal, were you, Mr. Lloyd?
What do you mean?
I mean the unauthorized biography of David Hall written by you.
That was a terrible mistake. Something for which I am sorry even to this day.
Oh. There's no harm done, is there? The book was never published, and David had you destroy all copies, didn't he?
Yes, that's right.
Except this one. The one you secretly left with the publisher. It's all right. David Hall will never find out now.
I'd forgotten about that.
Would you please tell the court how your manuscript begins, Mr. Lloyd? Just the first sentence.
I can't. I don't remember it.
Every writer I've ever met says the first sentence of every book they write is impossible to forget because it's the most difficult one to write.
I wrote that well over a year ago. I don't remember it.
David Hall wrote all of his novels longhand, is that correct?
Yes, and I typed them, of course, before sending them to the publisher.
From this picture, David Hall appears to be right-handed.
Yes, he was.
Mr. Lloyd, I call your attention to this handwritten manuscript of The Resort, written by David Hall. From the way the letters are slanted, it would appear to me it was written by someone left-handed.
Yes.
What time is it, Mr. Lloyd?
Well, it's 9:53, but...
You wear your watch on your right wrist.
Yes.
You're left-handed, aren't you?
Yes, but...
I noticed that when I interviewed you at David Hall's house. I also noticed you didn't seem to know your way around your own desk.
Well, that's because I was upset.
It's because it wasn't your desk. It was your secretary's desk.
What?
Isn't it true that you are, in fact, David Hall?
No.
Isn't it true 7 years ago you changed places with a man named Andrew Lloyd?
That's ridiculous.
Isn't it true that you did so in order to enjoy fame and fortune as an author without having to surrender your privacy?
Absolutely not.
Isn't it true you invited those 4 people to the hotel to see which one you could provoke to violence? And when that person turned out to be Jordan White, you went about framing him for your secretary's murder.
You are outrageous.
Isn't it true that it was Andrew Lloyd who fell from the tower?
No.
Isn't that why Miss Warrenfield heard the victim scream David as he fell? Because you, David Hall, pushed Andrew Lloyd off that tower.
No, no, no! I defy you to prove any of this.
Isn't it a fact we could take a sample of your handwriting, have it compared to that manuscript? Isn't it a fact that that comparison would prove that you were David Hall?
Yes, that's true.
Now, you transferred all your assets to Andrew Lloyd, the man you pretended to be for 7 years. Then you killed him. Too bad you didn't support the hypotheses that David Hall committed suicide. You might never have been found out.
I wanted the world to remember David Hall not as some suicidal neurotic, but as a man who is as heroes often do. He met a sad, sudden, and tragic death.
Your Honor, the people move that the charges against Jordan White be dismissed.
Very well. All charges against Mr. White are hereby dropped. Case dismissed. Please take Mr. Hall into custody.